Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make sausage gravy. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to embrace your Southern heritage. So prepare thyself to learn the method of making sausage gravy because it's not really a recipe. So I have learned through the years just by watching my mom how to make sausage gravy, and how we serve it here in the South is over fresh made biscuits. So if you missed my tutorial before about the Bread Baker's drop biscuits, this is the perfect accompaniment to those biscuits. So let's get cracking. All right, so step one is we're going to brown a pound of breakfast sausage in our skillet, whatever type or spiciness of breakfast sausage that you like. Yum. All right, now that we've got our sausage browned, here's the important part. You see the grease right here? We're not draining the grease off because we need that to help us make our gravy. So I'm going to sprinkle some flour over top, just enough flour to stir around, and I'll show you that it absorbs all of the grease, which sounds disgusting, but I promise it makes music. I do use white flour for gravy, even though I grind my flour otherwise, because we just feel like it tastes better. So just get some flour and sprinkle it over the top. I'd love to tell you a specific amount, but your sausage and the fat content in it will determine that. So we sprinkle and we stir. And we keep adding flour until all of the fat is absorbed by the flour. All right, I think we are almost done. I will zoom in and show you that the flour has absorbed the fat. I estimate I have at least 1/3 cup of flour in here, but this is a whole pound of sausage, so this makes a lot of gravy. Now, here we go. Let's zoom in. See? There's no more grease left in the bottom of the skillet. It has all been absorbed by the flour. All right, next step. We're going to be cooking over about medium heat, but we need to add, or mine's about medium low. We need to add milk, okay? So I'm adding whole milk. But I've also made this with non-dairy, non-flavored almond milk, and it works just as good. So now we're just going to cover our sausage with milk. You're going to cook it a little bit until it starts getting thick. And then it's very likely that you're going to have to add more milk based on the thickness of your gravy. And I do understand the thickness of gravy is very personal. Some people want it thick so it stands up on their plate, and some people want it to run all over the surface of their plate. So this part will just be based on your personal preference. So keep it over medium heat. Go ahead and stir it. Make sure you don't have any flour stuck to the bottom of the skillet, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. Here's an example for you guys. As my gravy is coming to a boil, I'm already getting thick. I already need to add more milk before I've even come to a boil. Remember, we added a lot of flour. So this part, you're just standing here and watching, stirring, bringing it to a boil, adding milk as needed to get to the thickness that you desire. And we're just still waiting for a boil. All right, look, the magic is happening. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Okay, so now we're just stirring. This is when I add the salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. You're going to just continue to stir and add milk till you get to the thickness that you like. Now, I like peppery gravy, but my Pansy children don't. So we come to a compromise, and I just add a little bit of pepper. So add to your preference. I usually use at least a teaspoon of salt, and then I give a good hearty shake of pepper, and then I stir it in. I already need to add a little bit more milk to mine. It's getting too thick for me to work with. So I add some more milk, and I'm switching to a different spatula. This is kind of like a dance. Making gravy is like a dance with you and milk and sausage. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. All right, now I'm going to add the salt. I'd love to tell you guys that I measure again, and that's just not true. Okay. Okay, I measure in my hand. Does that work? So I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt. And I also taste later and adjust based on. All right, I have added in the pepper, but the video didn't record. And now we're just stirring till we get the consistency that we're looking for. Okay, this is about the perfect consistency for me for gravy. I can also go thicker, but I don't really like thinner than this. So I won't be adding any more milk. If I go to reheat gravy, so if we have leftovers, which we usually do, then I will add more milk because I'm reheating, because it will get really thick as it cools down and as you store it in the refrigerator. I just reheat it in the skillet on the stove just like this with extra milk. So I almost always make biscuits, so the recipe for drop biscuits are below. We've already done that tutorial. That's what my family prefers. I actually prefer my homemade gravy over a couple pieces of fresh made homemade bread, which I know makes me bizarre, but it is what it is. So this is perfect for me. It is ready to go. And what I do to test the salt is I'll get some on this spatula and lay it over to the side, and I'll taste test it in just a second. Here we go. Got that spot on this time. It doesn't need any salt. I'm just gonna, I don't want to waste any. I'll wash this before I put it back in the skillet. And that's it, beginning to end, a sausage gravy. Just add biscuits. We also like to serve with a side of fruit. So whatever fruit I have on hand, it is a very filling, yummy Southern breakfast, and you're welcome. Stacy's got your back.